Good evening. This is Richard filming my video blog on condo hotels. Today's blog will be on the distribution percentage promised to owners in the RMA agreement. And what I've done is I've taken 7 real hotels in the South Florida market, and I've taken all the deductions and calculations and laid them out in this Excel sheet so that you can see them. So in brief summary, to walk you through this, the first thing we go through is revenues. Then we look at what each condo hotel uses as deductions to arrive at a calculated base to apply the percentage that's promised to you. I found that 4 of the 7 hotels analyzed also deduct a service charge, and I used 10% because that is the amount that seems to always be the case when service charges come. What's highlighted in yellow is the amount that owners often will get into discussions with their neighbors at other condo hotels about how much, when asked how much are you receiving of gross room revenues in your contract, and this gentleman will say 45% and this gentleman will say 60%, and of course that will start the big argument and accusations toward the hotel operator that something is wrong. And something could be wrong. But what we will learn through going through this is that when we take all the deductions just shown into consideration, in hotel number 1, they're actually receiving 38.2%. And the people who are in hotel 4 who think they're getting 60 or may think they're getting 60, actually after all the deductions are receiving 53%. So let me walk this through you. The last thing that I'll do is go over condo hotel 8, which is if the association buys the condo hotel program. Gross room revenues, $1,767. I have placed into each hotel. It's 1 unit for 1 month. And breakfast coupons of $167 are deducted from that gross. They represent coupons handed to a guest when they check in. Not coupons used, but coupons that are handed out. And what I'll get into with you is that all of those coupons aren't used. And in the yellow you can see that the highest number of coupons I've ever seen used is 60% in hotels that offer nice breakfasts. And you know, if I stay in a hotel, I might go to breakfast 3 out of 6 nights, maybe 4 out of 6 nights if the breakfast is really, really good. But you can determine whether the breakfast is really special in your own condo hotel. And of course, condo hotel operators will always tell you that 95% of all coupons handed out at the desk are used. I say fiddly sticks. So remember, this number of 167 is an arbitrary number. It could be much, much higher than this in coupons handed out. And so this calculation here in yellow obviously also would be higher. I'm going to just hide this for now because it is not used in the calculation. And so let's take it out. So what we do is we have the gross room revenues. We deduct the coupons that are handed out at the front desk, and we come to $1,600. Now, you never see anything above here on your statement. You see the $1,600 coming in on your statement, okay? Then we come to the discounts and costs. Every condo hotel has different discounts and costs. Why? Well, I've been asked that question many times, and the honest answer is they put in discounts and costs to reduce the amount that they need to pay to the owner. And so it's as simple as that. Nothing more really need be said. Now, how do they determine what this is? Well, in condo hotel 1, under reservation fee, for example, of $20, they would go to the profit and loss statement of the hotel. They look at the reservation line. They determine how much that is in total for the month, and then they divide it between all the people who are participating in the hotel program, and so on and so forth, with the travel agent fee and the credit card commissions. In the case of Hotel 2, I am not sure why, but they decided that they were going to only deduct one fee, and that would be the travel agent fee. But they weren't going to deduct the full, they weren't going to allocate the full line amount. They were going to allocate 45% of the line item on the profit and loss statement, and then divide it by the owners, all the owners in the hotel program. And you can see each one is different, and again, these are actual, and so you can see different formulas. When the condo association buys the hotel, I recommend all deductions are eliminated. I don't see any reason for them. To me, I hate to say it, but they're just smoke and mirrors. Of the condo hotels I read, 4 of the 7 happened to have service charges, and all 4 of those were 10%. And so I've added that into the deduction before the calculation. Okay, we now come down to, out of the 1,600, we now have an adjusted amount to apply the percentage promised in the RMA of $1,359, and so forth through the rest of the hotels. Okay, and then we just apply that percentage, and what we get is we get the actual distribution amount that goes to the owners, or the check amount. Now, there are some hotels, and in one of the condo hotels where I own a couple of condos, they do deduct after the split items like linens or maintenance. Linens disappear. They're always the second highest line item on any profit and loss statement in a hotel. It could be due to people using lipstick and not being able to get it off. It could be due to theft. It could be due to people take our towels. They take them to the beach. They take them in their car. They don't return them. They clean their car. And so linens are always a tremendous expense. Maintenance also, you could have some kind of a maintenance agreement in your hotel where certain things are taken care of in the rooms for you when it is required. And by the way, I've also seen a annual and semi-annual heavy-duty cleaning, very, very important, where housekeeping and maintenance get into the rooms, start moving things around and really doing a cleanup. So your owner distribution is here, and like I said, so the RMA says 45%, the actual is 38.2% in comparing after deductions. In this case, this condo hotel is actually handing out 53%, and the RMA says 60%. Okay, I've done a little calculation here at the bottom just to show you what the owner-operator gets, and so of course, in the case of Hotel 1, if Hotel 1 owner is getting 45%, then the owner-operator is getting 55%, that's $747. And then in additional fees and credits to the operator, I'll just go up. That $241 comes from what we've gone over. That would be the $90 fee and the $151 in service charge. You add those together and you get $241. Hotel 2, of course, only had travel agent fees, 45% of the line, and so on and so forth. Okay? So these are the percentages, by the way, that go to the owner-operator in order for them to pay their costs, pay their labor, pay their supplies, and also make profit. Now, that said, that profit would be eliminated in the case where a condo bought the hotel program, and that would be distributed to the owners. The 100% is just a check for me, and I wanted to show you this as well. Payments to owners, how often? In the case of condo hotel, every quarter they pay. In the case of condo hotel 2, every 45 days. I like payment in 1 month. I think it's very fair, and I think the hotel has time to do that. And the length of the agreements also vary. 2 years, 1 year, 3 years. The 3-year, by the way, is the one that's paying out the most, and perhaps that has something to do with the fact that the owner has committed to 3 years. I do not like self-renewing clauses, so keep an eye out for that. You can scratch it off. Hotel program owners will never complain. I happen to like to review 1 month before the end of each term how I've done, and I don't know, I think it keeps the operator a little bit more on their toes. So going back to the beginning once again, I'm trying to move through this fast because I know these numbers put everybody to sleep, but this is something that might be worthwhile for you to explore. It has to do with transparency, and you know, the fact of the matter is, as I've already said, I think that uneaten breakfasts, which after 10 years can be millions in dollars, should be distributed to owners. In the case of a condo hotel, let me talk to you about the case of a condo hotel that has the association buy the hotel program. Okay, we start out with the same amount of gross revenues. Instead of the 167, 100 were eaten, so the calculation would be reduced, and so you'd have gross room rental revenue net at 1667. I say eliminate all these deductions, also eliminate the service charge, and the 1667 should be what your fee is based on. I've picked 45% arbitrarily. I think that's more of a realistic, fair number. And once again, this 45% has to do with how efficiently and how effectively your professional operator is running hotel operations. It also could have something to do with unexpected expenses, but if budgeting is done correctly, you can pretty well predict how you're going to do with not too much variance these days. You know, September 11th and the financial crisis are behind us. Hotel statistics are becoming once again, historically accurate, and you can rely on them once again. So you should be able to predict what you can earn. Now, if there's anything in profit at the end of the year, out of this 55% that's taken, that comes to the bottom line as income, that is distributed to the unit owner with a 13th check at the end of the year in their pro rata share. Okay? So I've used the 45%, but you can't go to the bank with it. It really depends on your specific hotel. And by the way, we can come up with those numbers because we do have the averages and we're able to do those calculations. So that's it. If you have any questions, please go to condohotelanswers@gmail.com. Jot me a note. There were so many different circumstances you may want to explore or ask questions about. I think I've seen most of them at this point, and I look forward to speaking with you and delivering my next blog. Thanks.